During times of uncertainty, it's comforting to know we have a healthcare system in our community that's been committed to supporting us for well over a century. In this current time, we are standing together, and our bond is stronger than ever. KDMC, caring for our community like no one else can.
All right, just me and Patrick.
Yes, just how it should be.
What's going on, buddy?
Oh, not much. My photographer came up from Biloxi this morning, got some shots, and she saw you out there throwing the ball around. How would you rate your arm at 40 years old?
Better than most. Way better than most. Now I can still throw it. I can't throw it as good as I could, but I ain't afraid to go toe to toe with anybody that wants some.
I guess today was the first day in pads. Is that right?
It was, yes.
What do you kind of take away? What did you see out there?
Yeah, everybody's fired up for first day in pass. We had a lot of juice and energy early on. It was really hot today. And again, the good Lord loves the Eagles, right? It was supposed to rain and the sun was out. It was beautiful. It was hot. Thought we got a little fatigued late, which is, normal when it's hot for the first time. But I thought our kids battled through it pretty good, and we'll get the tape and see. Thought defensively, thought we really matched the patterns well today. I thought we covered well. Thought we still were able to get open a lot. We had a lot of drops today. We in some contested situations. Thought Trey Lowe continues to improve and shows that he can be a Division I quarterback and a winner. Thought T. Webb took some more major strides today. Natrod Brooks made an unbelievable interception on the sideline one time. And, excited to watch the tape. Be a lot of good tape to learn from and improve on.
When y'all plan to scrimmage for the first time?
Patrick, man, I'm not a big scrimmage guy. I want to maximize all 15 practices. We're going to go live and tackle a lot. The NCAA allows us to do it 8 times. So we're going to use all 8 of those opportunities to tackle this spring. But I don't know if we're ever just going to say, you know what, we're just going to scrimmage today. I don't know if we're there yet as a program. I don't want to lose an opportunity to teach, install, and practice. So we will go live every 8 times in spring, and that's going to happen Tuesday. Will be the first time. But I don't know if we'll ever just say we're just going to scrimmage today. I don't know if we'll get to that point this spring or not.
Right. How would you describe, as an offensive coordinator, quarterbacks coach, and head coach, and obviously have plenty of experience, you've got your method about it, but how would you describe how you go about managing a team during practice while looking over the quarterbacks and the offense? How do you juggle everything?
Yeah, so number one, you got to hire really good people and you got to let them work, right? Just like anybody that runs a major business or a major corporation, the great ones are not heavily involved in every phase of their business. Now they've got parameters and they know how they want it to look at the end and how they want people treated. So, with our defense, we've hired Austin Armstrong, and I know exactly what type of defense we're running. I know our terminology. I know what every call is. And I know what I want it to look like at the end of the day, but I trust him to do a job. I don't micromanage him. With our weight room, I hired Lance Ancor, same thing. I know what our workouts look like. We go over it together. At the end of the day, I hired him to do that. And special teams with Greg Meyer, same thing. I know all of our calls in the kicking game. I know what I want it to look like. All right. But it's his job to handle the day-to-day. So it's no different than a guy that owns a business or a guy that owns 20 restaurants. He's not in all 20 of them every day, but he's given great direction and clear, concise, there's an understanding of what it's supposed to look like.
For somebody that hasn't seen T. Webb play, what can he offer at quarterback?
Really accurate and really intelligent, and a winner. He's won his whole life. He's played in a highly pressurized situation at Cartersville High. He's an extremely accurate kid that has a strong enough arm, and he's got some athleticism. He's just learning how to do it the Will Hall way right now. he's kind of a Joe Cool kind of guy, you know, and that's fine. There's a lot of great ones that were that Joe Montana was that way, right? But urgency is something we have to have, and he's learning to get more urgent in his day-to-day actions, because every great team, the quarterback has a sense of urgency about him that directs the rest of the program.
What do I know you said you had a relationship with his family previously in Georgia. What do you think he saw in joining your program, and what have the conversations been like with him, and how he can fit in?
Yeah, so he grew up most of his life in Carrollton. So he actually grew up in that city where we were winning all those games at West Georgia. So he knew from firsthand how I treat my players and how I coach quarterbacks specifically. Our starting middle linebacker on one of those great West Georgia teams ended up marrying his sister. So he has a direct firsthand knowledge of how I treat my players. So when I got this job, I mean, it happened fast. You know what I'm saying? He got in the portal, they contacted me, and he knew he wanted to come play for me, and he wanted to be a Golden Eagle. Why wouldn't he want to? I mean, we've had great quarterback success. I have, and then Southern Miss has too. So we're a quarterback place. We're a destination place for young quarterbacks.
At Tulane, I noticed a little early y'all did kind of work both quarterbacks onto the field. Is that something you're still open to, or are you a guy that prefers to be a one quarterback guy kind of starting the season?
Well, you always prefer to be just one, right? But I've actually won 3 conference titles playing 2. And so, you know, you'd like to be just one. You know, we'd like for our quarterback to win the Heisman Trophy. But we're going to do whatever it takes to win. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we're going to, you know, if that's playing 2, if it's having packages for different ones, we're going to do, you know, whatever we think it takes to win. But at West Alabama in 12 and 13 and at West Georgia in 15, we played 2 quarterbacks, you know, all year long. Now, one was the predominant starter, but we had a package with the other one, kind of much like what Florida did with Chris Leak and Tim Tebow when Tim Tebow was young. So we're going to figure out what it takes to win and go from there.
Frank Gore, was he a little bit limited today? How's he?
Yeah, he just tweaked his hamstring yesterday. He's fine though. We just precautionary measures. He went through some individual, and we just didn't want him running full speed.
You talked about some drop balls at receiver. So far through 3 practices, the man-to-man, do you think those corners have responded well?
Yeah, I mean we're installing everything we do. We're 3 days into it, so. You know, I think you've seen several of them make plays. Like I said, Natron Brooks made a great play today, and we're extremely talented at receiver. You know, so if they can guard our guys, and they can probably guard anybody in CUSA because we've got a lot of talent there. We got a lot of competition. Brandon Hayes is a young man that continues to come on at receiver. Made another big post catch today. He's continuing to get tougher day by day. And then, you know, Daquan Bailey Brown's making some plays. Demo Brownlee always makes plays, you know. And I'll tell you what, Shirty Robinson today stepped up, had his best practice, I thought. So, you know, it was good to see.
3 days in, what are you most encouraged about through 3 practices?
I'm most encouraged about the way how hungry these kids are. You know, I mean, and I know it sounds cliche, Patrick, and it sounds like, I know there's been so much positivity put out there that it's like we're all sitting around the campfire singing Kumbaya over here, which is really not what's going on. The kids just really are. They're hungry for success. They're hungry to win. I think, like you heard Tyler Barnes say yesterday, I think they extremely gravitated towards the organization and the bouncing to next deal. We don't waste time. We do not waste time in any element of our program. I think they appreciate that because they've got more time away. And but I've just been so pleasantly surprised with how quick the buy-in's been with these kids. What about it, Glenn?
Hey, brother. I didn't know if you had me or not. I'm on the phone for the first time.
Yep.
Coach, in years past, they didn't have a special teams coordinator here at Southern Miss. You have one here, and I've noticed in practice you put a lot of emphasis on your special teams. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah. So, man, I've always – when the NCAA went to 10 full-time assistants a few years ago, immediately I said, if I ever get a D1 head job, I'll have a full-time guy, and that's all he'll do. I mean, why not? I can't be convinced otherwise for only one reason. I'm big on accountability, right? The buck's got to stop somewhere. And so, everybody talks about that's going to be as big a phase and that's going to be just as important as O&D, but then you divide it up amongst the coaches. Well, that doesn't make sense to me. That don't mean I'm right. There's a lot of ways to do it. But here, the buck stops with Greg Meyer, and Greg's highly intelligent. And we want to give Greg his allotted time to train these kids. You can see we're doing a lot of circuit work right now to train every skill player we've got to have the skills it takes to play on those 4 core units. Like I said, we believe it's our responsibility for our program to play the best players on that. But also, if these kids are going to play in the NFL, they got to play on the kicking game. They have to. And so, when you talk about training guys to play at the next level, if you're not playing them in the kicking game, you're doing them a disservice. So that's why it's a big phase. It's not just lip service here.
Thanks, Coach.
Anything else?
I'm good.
I'm good.
Hey guys, man, I really appreciate y'all covering us every day. Anything we can do to make it better, let us know. Thanks so much.
All right.